Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, bringing you my first 2 vs 2 for Shogun 2 Total War. And I shall be teaming up with Monlith, who I've played many Rome Total War games with in the past and against. And this is going to be a very fun first 2 vs 2 upload. It isn't my first 2 vs 2 on Shogun, but it is my first for the traditional armies, and which is what I wanted to bring first. So me and Monlith are both using traditional armies, but our opponents, Viking Lord 953 and Sink Golo, are both using for the samurai armies. So I'm just going to go into slow motion here so I can outline our armies. My army consists of 4 units of Naginata warrior monks, no upgrades, 4 units of Yari Yashigaru, which I've layered 2 in front and another 2 behind them. This is so I can rush his gun line without taking heavy casualties on my most valuable units. I have 2 units of Nodachi Samurai as well, my elite versions, which are very deadly. I have a unit of Bow Samurai, which is my Black Bow Guard. And I also have my new Daikyu Samurai. These guys are absolutely awesome, fantastic. You know, I just recently bought the Sengoku Jedi pack, and this unit is absolutely awesome. I freaking love it. It is just so good, and you'll see why. This is my first game with them as well. But they come in so well in this fight. Obviously, my general's here. If you want a close up, there he is there. Still packing the same look, haven't unlocked anything that I think looks cooler, and I've got 3 Yari Cav, all veteran units, and over here I have a unit of Waco Raiders, which I'm testing out. They got no upgrades as well. So the action begins with these Bow Cav running into a unit of Monlith's very well upgraded Hanzo Shadows, and he's sprung this very nicely on them. I mean, look at this. They've taken them, like, destroyed nearly a whole unit of Boki there, and now Yariki come in, and they're going to get pretty wasted too. These Hanzo Shadows do tons of kills. They're such a powerful unit. The only downside is they're extremely expensive. So if Monlith put a lot of time into these Hanzo Shadows, he's probably weak in other areas, so we had to work closely to ensure that we'd be alright there. But I mean, look at the damage he's inflicting. I also got the blood mod, by the way, but I think I mentioned that in one of my other videos. So he comes out with only losing 2 men, and he killed probably good 70-75 men in that. But the danger now is he's come into range of his enemy's general unit here, which is a gun general. I'm rushing my Waco Raiders over. I figure if we can pin down enough of these gun units and cause enough of disruption, I don't mind losing my Waco Raiders. The plan is to just use them as a disruption. I can again hide them later, because they can walk and hide at the same time. So I don't believe I outlined Monlith's force, so I might just slow down again, quickly have a scurry over at his forces. So he's got 3 units of Bow Samurai, some of them are vets, got his Avatar's Bodyguard, 2 Nodachi Samurai, a fire projecting Mangonel that is interesting. I've never really used them, but I don't think they're that good. And he's got several Yari Cavalry. He's also got some hero units, these Kiyomasa's Katana Cavalry, and here's the other one. Where is it? I thought he had another one. Here's another hero unit somewhere too, I think. But anyway, I'm going to get this going again. They're shooting at my Waco Raiders a bit, but that's fine. They have taken a few casualties, but they've gone back into hiding. I was trying to get them in quickly so they could hide. He's going to withdraw Hanzo Shadows. Would have been kind of useful if he kept them in, but I can understand why he withdrew them, because they are extremely valuable units. Our opponent over here has got several Tosa Riflemen, 3 Tosa Riflemen, which is very deadly, 150 range, incredibly dangerous. And this is why I want to use my Waco Raiders to try and catch them. Now he's moved his men into position like this, I can rush my Waco Raiders into them, and hopefully I can destroy or at least nullify 1 unit of these Waco Raiders. Not Waco Raiders, these Tosa Riflemen, and my Waco Raiders will make pretty short work of them. I shouldn't think that would be too much difficulty. Look at that nice gut stabbing there, and oh, down he goes. So some nice action here for my Waco Raiders. This is a good start for them. They're disrupting and destroying an extremely expensive and valuable unit. Even non-upgraded, they're like 1,400 or 1,370 each. Very expensive. So if I can get rid of one, that's extremely useful. This Toaster Rifleman is losing large numbers. And I don't care if my Waco Raiders die, though I was only going to use them. I was actually brought them mostly to deal with artillery if they had them, but this is exactly the kind of use I wanted for them, to just disrupt my opponent, while I bring my long-range Daikyu Samurai and even my bow Samurai. I've got better range, and I can bring them to range and pick away at his other exposed units here. And this is pretty much taken these Toaster Riflemen completely out of the picture now. His Yariki are going to take some casualties too. He really has lost. Those Waco Raiders were definitely worth it. Every pound of damage pound of money I spent on them is worth it, because they did a lot of damage, and they're only like 500 koku, so it was well worth it. Now I'm going to pull back my Daikyu Samurai and my other units. I want to make sure I have the range advantage, and I'm making use of it. As you can see, his Toaster Riflemen are taking a beating, and I've got cover. I'm going to use fire arrows. Killing these Toaster Riflemen will make this a lot easier, because I'll just be able to dominate from range. So he had 3 of those. He had a couple of Vermilion Bird Force, United States Marine, and Infantry Marine. A very tough army, needless to say, a very tough army. Very elite units. But as you can see, his Toaster Riflemen have just been totally cut to bits. Now I'm going to use my Meat Shield Rush, and hopefully the sheer weight of layering of these Yari Ashigaru will be enough to absorb enough damage. And I was going to bring my men in here, but I decided not to, because he has got some regrouped Toasters, I think, sitting in the forest. So I'm going to get that out. Don't want to lose too many cav. So I temporarily stop here. I don't know why I did this. I shouldn't have, because it's costly to do this. But I carry on. While I do this, I mean, my Samurai bow units are coming up. Now the other player, I'll very quickly pause, guys, just very quickly. I don't want to miss that action over there. So he had some Yariki, some Red Bears, let's see what else. Yeah, Red Bears. Most of his front line's Red Bear infantry, which isn't the best, but it's still reasonable and still dangerous. Kyoto Police, Shogitai, Bokachi, Yarikachi. So yeah, it's a pretty, definitely my opponent has definitely got the more deadly army. We've done a really good, between me and Monlith, a little stealth strike there. We've done a really good job of damaging out. So the Meat Shield has absorbed a lot of damage from him, and they will actually get in here, and they're going to pin him down. They don't expect him to win, obviously, but he's going to get very pinned down here. And now I can rush my Nodachi. Now I've got to be careful. They will take a few casualties, unfortunately, but the beauty of it is I can quickly activate Bonsai when I get close, and they'll be immortal. So here's Bonsai now, and they are now they're still in pretty high numbers, and they are definitely going to reach their targets without dying and inflict huge casualties. While this is happening, I've advanced my cavalry, and I'm going to charge straight into him here while he wasn't paying attention. I'm going to destroy these units of Imperial Infantry, which are also extremely expensive units. So I know Nodachi, yes, they take some beatings, but they're going to really dish out the pain now and inflict some huge casualties on him. And he's no longer able to shoot, so I can now bring in the rest of my infantry. And while this is happening, my Daikyu Samurai and Bow Sam are still firing away pretty decisively. I do need to be careful I don't get too outflanked here. Over this side, his very expensive and valuable Imperial Infantry getting annihilated by my cavalry, so that's really good. And I'm very pleased with the results. As you can see, a lot of his line is pretty batched up, but these United States Marines and Infantry Marine are going to be a real pain to try and deal with. I recently unlocked Infantry Marines myself, and they are very good. But I've got a massive cav assault available at any time now, and I'm just able to rip right into his United States Marines here and take them out of the picture. And now I've got Naginata units that have been able to safely get into this fight without taking any major casualties. His Hanzo Shadows are in support as well. I was grateful that they were there. And now I can use the superior range of my Daikyu Samurai to quickly annihilate these other units. Now he does beat one of my units here with his marine unit, but it did lose quite a lot of men, but it's only because my cav was so weakened and so tired after fighting so many men. But I caused enough disruption, and Monlith is immediately in to support me, so this is good. I did wish he got these guys going sooner, and he didn't realise the mistake he made later on. He said he realised he did, but I think he's having some problems with his controls or something. Unfortunately, I would I will link his channel, but he would have done this battle himself, but because he forgot to save a fight, we're not able to do so. So it's unfortunate. So I make a pretty nice job, I feel, of getting rid of my opponent, who had an extremely powerful for the Samurai army, in my opinion. Toasters and United States Marines, Infantry Marines, Imperial Infantry. It's pretty tough stuff. So here is some the other players brought in some Yarikachi. I did not spot this, but I do have my own Naginata warrior monks coming in to pin him down here, so I should be able to win that fight. But I should have got my cav out of it. But whilst it's been happening, my Daikyu Samurai have just been, and my Bow Sam, they're both doing a fantastic job, just collecting tons and tons of kills. And my general was right in support, so I can easily support, rally, and that sort of thing. And there's I had one of my units do a war cry there to weaken the enemy and boost themselves. Very useful, and as you can see, it instantly routed this Boki that were in the area. And there's plenty of fire coming in from my arrows. And easily our most dangerous opponent is now being dealt with, because his army was definitely the riskiest army for us to fight, containing so many powerful units, especially those extremely long-range toasters. But Infantry Marine and those United States Marines were very deadly as well, and Imperial Infantry are very strong as well. So he had an extremely tough army, and I was pretty pleased with myself being able to beat that, especially with a traditional army. I am definitely better, I think, at the traditional army style, because it's more kind of in style to Rome Total Wars fashion. Sort of ish, very different, but it's more closer to it than the whole line infantry thing. Not that I don't like the line infantry thing, I'm just not very good at it yet, or not as good at it. I'm okay. So we do, I have help from Monlith though, with some cav and with Hanzo's shadows. It was very useful. But it was really handy over here with my Waco Raiders. They did get spotted, but they did take down a lot of Toaster riflemen, and they did weaken quite a few cav too, I think. So Monlith does a good job over here of mopping up some other cav units, and I'm sure he had a... Yeah, here it is. Here's his other hero unit. The Spears of... I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, it's a hero unit from the Saints and Heroes pack, which is what he's using. And he gets so many kills in this fight. He does a brilliant job with them, uses them really well, and he does a really good job. So now he's bringing his units up. He has got them into loose formation, which is smart. We just need to use our bows here. We can, as you can see, our opponent's sort of forced to go defensive and divide himself on two fronts, which is good. But we have the extremely... He's only, as I showed you before, mostly just like red bear infantry. Nothing particularly great. They should be not much trouble for our bow units, which are 175 range as opposed to his 125. So we easily outrange him. Well, most of our bows are 150 actually. Mine are 170. One of my Daikyu Samurai are 175. And then these guys, look at this, they haven't even taken a single casualty yet, and I can tell you by this point they had like 100 kills. They got so many kills in this fight, and this is my first time using them. I just love them. I think from what I've seen, there are more useful units in the... I walked right over here just before I get back to it, just to help me beat these Yarikachis. My men were pretty tired and they weren't actually losing it, but I do start to win it. But I think there are more useful units in the Sengoku Jedi pack than other ones. So here's Boki, actually gets me in range, and I go into loose because I can't afford to lose too many of my Naginata warrior monks. Plus Naginata warrior monks are susceptible to bows. I probably should have moved them back, but I wasn't microing as quickly this time. But it doesn't matter. My Daikyu Samurai and my Boki do my Bow Samurai do a great job of taking out these Boki here that Golo is trying to harass me with. And I'm going to use fire arrows just to make it happen a little faster, cause a quicker rout, get him out of the action. So that's good, but I probably did lose too many of these Naginata warrior monks then. I didn't really want to do that, but this is good. Monlith's coming from the front, I'm coming from the side, trying to divide our opponent's attention. Somebody just bonsai'd. It's not me, because my guys are dead, so I'm assuming it's... yeah, here they go. Here's Monlith. I should have caught more of Monlith's action, but there's a lot of... well, most of it's been my side so far. He's going to charge this Yarikachi. Now, he should be able to win this fight. Although these Yarikachi are upgraded. Yeah, his men should win this fight, but you don't want to get stuck in a protracted melee. You kind of want to get really quick and decisive in Nodachi, because they're not as good in their protracted melee. As you can see, they're starting to lose now because they're more bogged down. So he's had to divide himself on two fronts, and Monlith is being smart here. He's just making sure he's got range, but his opponent does have a bow unit, so that does kind of cause a nuisance for him. But these two units here, and especially this hero unit, is just awesome. So I'm using my bows here to weaken some of these red bears, and I'm going to bring my general around the flank there so I can shoot him. He has got some cannons in here, some wooden cannons. I think wooden cannons are a waste of money. I think any of the parrot guns are good and you're going up, but wooden cannons are just crap. And I do lose my bow samurai there because I got a bit close. Well, I don't lose them, they're wavering. I'm going to pull back my Daikyu samurai. I want to keep using my range to my advantage here. That's the best thing I've got. I'm going to try and draw him out here. Because now I've got my general in the side going for a side charge here. It's going to look pretty sweet. Over here, Monlith's just sort of harassing. He was doing withdrawing tactics, and as you can see, he's doing a really nice job of just thinning out a lot of these units. So he does get rid of my bow samurai, as I don't micro them as best as I could. But while that was happening, he was completely oblivious to the fact that I don't know if he was oblivious or he didn't notice it, but my general's going to come in now and probably should hopefully be able to do enough damage to rout. But this unit here is going to turn and be ready to face, so I have to get out of this in case I lose my general. That's fine. As he draws up closer like this, he will again come into the range of my Daikyu samurai, which will further inflict heavy damage as I safely pull out of the danger of that fight, and they're going to lose big casualties trying to advance up against my Daikyu samurai. So that's the advantages that I think one of the advantages the traditional armies have is their archers. A lot of them have a higher range, and you need to use that to your advantage. I was thinking of going for a flat out charge here with my my Naginata units. I want to try and force him back, which is good. He's being forced back, but he's going to take some heavy damage from my my Daikyu samurai as he does this. He is going to shoot me up a little bit with his gun units, but I've gone into loose formation, so I am losing casualties, most certainly, but not as quickly as I otherwise would be. And of course my Daikyus are just ripping up. Monlith does a great job of just being a real pain to his opponent here, and we were both really pleased with the way this went. So I was taking note of where the cannon fire was potentially might be coming from, and I suspected there was something in the woods here in this general area, and here is a wooden cannon unit which is going to make nice death fodder for my general's unit. So he comes in and does a nice job there. So now there's nowhere really for him to go because he's going to run and get sandwiched between me and Monlith. And here's a full unit of Shogutai here, so that's, you know, a nuisance for us. So I get rid of those wooden cannons. They probably don't think they did a lot of damage anyway. But here his general's going to get charged by the two hero units, I believe, and that's going to be a pretty damn interesting fight. It should be more or less Monlith's fight, though, I should suspect. His general's not going to be a match. And yeah, he just killed him. So now I'm going to charge this unit of these units of Naginata warrior monks, and then I'm going to bring these guys in. Use my Daikyu samurai to provide support fire. As you can see, incredible range, and they're just a tough unit. So I'm going to condense into tight formation. I should catch him in the flank here, I think. Not quite. If we can spot it. I'm going to use Warcry to weaken him and boost myself, obviously. Now I'll bring my general in for a flank charge. These Shogutai are in much bigger numbers, so I have to play it carefully. So in comes my general, and that should spell his defeat. Oh, look at that! There's a nice decapitation. There's the first decapitation, I think. Oh, no, I didn't get it. Boom, that guy's doing a lot of head and neck throat slicing. So over here, I get my Naginata warrior monks in, and Monlith's got his hero units in, and we rout what is left of their forces pretty decisively. And that is a costly victory, it says, but I felt we did pretty well, considering, in my personal opinion, it is definitely a lot harder to beat a For All the Samurai army with a traditional army than it is with a For All the Samurai versus traditional. And I mean, Monlith's more of a For All the Samurai player. I think I'm better with traditional, but I'm working off All the Samurai. And there'll be the next one will be another 2 vs 2, but Monlith will take For All the Samurai, and I will continue to use traditional. So there is the unit statistics. My army was pretty big with 1,830 men. I got 1,400 losses and I got 1,359 kills, so that's pretty even place there. Monlith had 777 men. He got 543 losses and 1,118 kills, so it's pretty excellent on his part. Certainly getting 400 more kills than he deployed, basically. Viking Lord 953 at 1,320, got 1,134 losses, 1,156 kills, so he did good. And Golo had 2,040 men, so a massive army, quite a lot of losses, and only 746 kills, 64 kills, so not the greatest there. So if we look at my guys, my cavalry here 166, my Daikyu Samurai 152. This is on their first go, my first use of them, and they got 152 kills. That unit is just awesome. I've seen videos with them, they're awesome units. My Bow Samurai got 131, other Yari 116, 115 for this Nodachi, 110 for this one, even the Bodyguard 103, that was pretty sweet. Warrior Monks 102, 89. Yari Ashigaru obviously got wasted, but they did an excellent job of just being the meat shield, just 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So I think if you put them all in one single line, they'd rout too quickly, and the whole forward rout in one go. But by putting 2 in front and 2 in the back, they can go a little further, I think. They don't cover as much area, obviously, but they can go further. And by going further, you can get your much stronger units in, like my Nodachi, and once I got them in, they actually ripped up a lot of very valuable infantry that he had. Waco Raiders, only 67, but I was pretty pleased with what they did. They caused a pretty big distraction, and it was pretty good. Made it a lot easier, but I mean, a lot of my units got well up into the hundreds, so I was pretty damn pleased with that. Viking Lord's Infantry Marine, Vermilion Bird Force, one of his Tosas. He's not United States Marines. They did a pretty nice job, actually. They did a very nice job. It was tough getting in there, but most of the kills I got were those Yari Ashigaru. And I mean, Yari Ashigaru are not like a really tough unit to defeat, and my ones were not, they're just, they were just the expendable force, so a lot of those kills, good kills, but mostly Yari Ashigaru, and basically allowed me to get my cavalry safely around behind his flank and my much tougher Naginatas in without actually losing casualties, and protecting my Nodachi for the most part. So I managed to inflict some pretty heavy casualties. As you can see, these 2 Tosa riflemen did not do nearly as well, because they still did pretty good. This one did anyway, but they got pretty much in trouble against some of my other units that caught them out. And look at this, the spears of Shizugate, I don't know, I don't want to embarrass myself saying it, 329 kills, and his other unit, this wasn't a hero unit, this was a Katana cavalry, I think. Oh no, it's Kyo Master's Katana cavalry, I think it is a hero unit. 181, so I mean, look at that, 329 kills, that is pretty awesome. It's pretty nuts. His Hanzo Shadows 130, and the rest of his units just sort of came off pretty even. So just a few specialty units did really well for Monlith, really well. And Sink Golo 105 for his Yari Ki, and that's really probably, and some of his Yari carts did okay, but really he didn't really have a lot of success then, so he sort of ended up having to fight on his own, and we just outpositioned him. And see, look at his wooden cannons, 4 kills, and they were firing that whole fight. I just think wooden cannons are just crap. I think if you're going to use cannons, you need to be using at least parrot guns. The other 3 are fine. I just don't think wooden cannons are very good at all. But anyway, good game to Monlith, Viking Lord 953, and Sink Golo. I will link Monlith's channel, guys. Check him out. There's some good stuff on his channel. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you soon next time.